Nkosi Talk Shows family, is Nomsa here at Nkosi Talk Shows. Find your own voice, lead from within. With me today, I have Carol Ann Cooper. Carol Ann, please, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm a bit tired, but had a fabulous weekend, and yeah, I'm just sort of going, you know how it is, you sort of relax afterwards and reflect, and so yeah, I'm good and a bit tired. But happy to be here. So yeah.
Awesome. So our topic today is unlocking better relationship, the power of self-forgiveness. Carol Ann, you chose this topic. I know it's very, very important to understand the power of self-forgiveness. Once you understand the power of self-forgiveness, you can transform your relationship and lead a happier life. And Carol Ann, you chose this topic. So could you please explain to our audience what motivated you? Are you working on some self-forgiveness, or how is the subject inspired you, or is it because we are doing a workshop on Saturday?
Well, first things first, yes, we're doing this workshop on Saturday. So that certainly inspired me to look at it and think, well, okay, there's something else around forgiveness that maybe we haven't looked at, or specifically self-forgiveness, because there's a lot out there about forgiveness, but it's about self-forgiveness. And I just had this thought, well, how would that then impact your relationships? Because we haven't actually discussed that. And it must have a way of impacting your relationship. And so I just thought it'd be great to talk about it, discuss it, and highlight that you know, this, again, another angle on the reason why it's important to be able to forgive yourself. So that's where it came from. So what did you think when you saw it, knowing that you're a relationship coach, you know, in terms of helping people find the ideal partner that they want? Is this something that comes up when we're talking with people? And you're muted, by the way, before you start trying to talk.
Self-forgiveness is very, very important, Carol Ann, is critical key components of a human being being able to move forward and lead a happier relationship. Without self-forgiveness, you can't be happy, because all you see in that relationship, it will be like you will see negativity. If you have not forgiven yourself, everything you see, even when it comes to business, when it comes to anything you do. But once you forgive yourself, whatever you believe to be true about yourself, once you forgive yourself, you'll be able to lead a happier life, because you don't have any chains holding you back anymore. When you don't forgive yourself, there's shame, you feel guilty. And that becomes a chain. You feel like you are not enough. You feel like people around you, maybe they don't care. That's what people feel. But the truth is that would be what is happening, what's on the inside within. So it's very, very important when things go wrong in life, or you believe that you have made mistakes, or when you hold a grudge. Sometimes we get upset with people, we hold them in our heart. That causes stagnation. When that causes stagnation, it holds our lives back. And then when we do realize, then we blame ourselves. So for me, this topic is very, very important. And when I work with my clients as well, I can see that it causes a stronghold when somebody has not forgiven themselves for their past, for whatever the wrong they think they have done, or they think they've dated the wrong people. I don't know what's the right one anyway, because when problems comes your way, they will come your way. No one knows the future. But when the problems comes, you don't have to blame yourself for the problems. So I don't know. Over to you,
Problems
Carol
come,
Ann.
and you may have had a part in it, but it is about accepting what happened, what your part in it was, and being able to forgive yourself, knowing that you did the best with the resources you had at the time. And once you can do that, accept what happened, it's then it allows you to have that peace inside. Whereas while you're still chewing it over, you've got that anguish going on inside. There's maybe anger, resentment, all sorts of things, all different emotions that are not healthy. They actually create a barrier with whoever you're with, whether it's in a partnership, a loving relationship, or whether it's at work. You know, maybe you're a leader in a team of a group that you've got, or you may be someone in the team. It has a way of filtering out. It impacts the way you talk with people, the way you deal with people, but also energetically, it has this energy that filters out. And I don't think people understand the power of that energy, that if there is anger, resentment going on inside somebody, it can create a heaviness. It can create it's there again, isn't it? It's because I can feel what it is I want to say, and then it's just allowing the words to come. And again, this is where self-forgiveness comes in. And the way I am is very often I'll feel what it is I want to say. I've got that sense of it. The words take a bit longer to come. And I used to beat myself up for that. And now I don't. It's like, it's okay, because it's accepting who you are. It's accepting how you work. And if you are in a team and you're not accepting who you are and how you work, that's it. You know, you're making yourself wrong the whole time. You're not able to be best team player because you're not fully present. You're wishing you were somebody that you weren't, or you're resenting somebody who is probably how you would like to be. So it doesn't mean, it means that then you're not able to have that great relationship with them, a great partnership. Whereas if you can accept who you are and how you work and how they work, which is possibly different to you, you can go, oh, okay. It helps you to know how to be with yourself and be with that other person, how you can work more efficiently. And by accepting that, which is the first step to self-forgiveness, being aware and accepting what you perceive to be wrong, or if something didn't work, your part in it, and acknowledging that. And allow yourself to have some peace inside. Because when you come from a place of peace and calm within yourself, that strength and an inner knowing, it allows for a peace to permeate through, for others to feel settled, and also it attracts people to you. So the whole dynamic then shifts and changes. And what was interesting, because this weekend I was with a group of people and we were getting to know each other. I mean, we've seen each other online, and some of them I have never met in person. And for others, it was like they'd never met any of us in person. It was really great to actually meet in person. And then we did a few activities where it showed the differences, how we were, our sort of personality types, and how we worked. And to see someone over the other side of the room to you because of the, you know, the way they are, the way they operate, is completely different to you, it's like, oh, okay. And you get a sense more of them. And it really opened up our eyes, and it certainly helped me to feel more accepting of myself, and then more of an understanding of how that other person is, or how the other people are, where they're at. It was really great, activity to do. But also it was great to sort of be able to see, there was another activity we did, and I could see where some really strong people who had their ideas of doing something, they were sort of leaders, actually created chaos because there wasn't a listening happening. But actually they got a learning for themselves within that. And so, they can forgive themselves for not being able to complete the task that was set. But the idea was that they got to know themselves in a deeper way. So, that was great in itself, but it was certainly an eye-opener to see that and to see how people work. And so be aware of forgiving yourself first is key, because if you can't forgive yourself, how can you forgive others? So what about yourself, Nomsa?
I love that, Carol Ann, when you say if you can't forgive yourself, how can you forgive others? I think forgiveness is, no matter how much you think you have contributed to the wrongs, you have to take responsibilities by letting go and accept what has happened and move on. By moving on is either whether somebody wronged you, or you believe that you've made a mistake, or you believe that you contributed. When you take responsibilities, it means I am aware of whatever happened, the event, and not blaming yourself, but taking responsibilities of healing yourself. Self-healing is very, very important. And also connecting with the situation when you sympathize with yourself and relate to that situation. Okay, this is what happened. I relate to it, and I don't want to connect with this thing anymore, but I want to disconnect myself. I want to break the code, not actually wanting to connect with it. Because when we entertain the wrongs that we've done, it means we are actually saying it is okay for me to hold on to this. But if you cut the cords, sympathize with our situation, relate to it, cut the cord completely and move on. If it's somebody that wronged you, it doesn't mean that you let them get away with it. It means you don't want to be in that situation, and you don't want to dwell on it, but you want to let them go completely. And once you do that, you have to understand the power of restoring your life. There is always a chance to actually restore whatever you thought you have lost. Anyone that is watching, if you are a Christian like me, and you know the power of God, how He can do it. God can restore 20 years you've lost within a second. So there is no need for me, to hold on to unforgiveness. Because if I hold on to unforgiveness, it means I'm holding on to pain. It means I'm holding on to shame. That I believe that is a shame. I'm holding on to guilty, that I believe, whatever I believe that is guilty. It means that I'm holding on to the things that don't save me anymore. But if I accept and say, you know what, God, I take responsibilities. I have wronged you and I've wronged myself, but I am willing to actually let it go and just make promises to yourself. Forgive yourself and just move on, and just cut the cord and move on. Because when you do that, if it is a man or a woman that you've dated, or you've dated the wrong guy, when you're willing to let go of that wrong guy completely, the right guy will enter your life. When you are willing to let go of that wrong woman that you've dated, the business that has gone wrong, that maybe business deals, or maybe somebody comes in your life, you do business, it doesn't go according to plan. When you are willing to let that person go and forgive them, then the blessings, there will be blessings, because you've learned something, a lesson, and God will be like, she's willing to let it go. She's willing to forgive. And I am willing, because she's willing to forgive, or he is willing to forgive, I am going to restore her life. Maybe you've lost 50,000. God will give you 100,000 or maybe 1 million. But if you hold on to that 50,000 that you've lost, then God will be like, I don't know how to help you right now. But the angels of God, if they come and see you're willing to forgive and you're willing to move on, and there is a courage within you, there's a determination within you to actually move on, live a happy life, then the angels will be able to enter. I know some people, they don't believe in God, but whatever you believe in, a blessing is a blessing. A stronghold is a stronghold. So that's where you're going to have to choose between the two. Am I choosing the blessings for my life, or am I choosing to hold my life captivity? Because when you hold on to unforgiveness, it's sickness. Unforgiveness causes sickness. Unforgiveness causes pain. It causes pain that can bring challenges to your healthy life. It brings challenges to every area of your life. So if you are somebody who's watching and you still think it's okay to not to forgive yourself, okay, I put my hands up. Over to you, Carol Ann.
You put your hands up. Okay.
Put my hands up.
Yes. Okay. And I then ask that person, okay, so what are you getting from not forgiving yourself, for holding on to that pain? What is it giving you? Because there will be some secondary gain going on. There'll be something that you're getting from it. And it's actually being able to recognize that it's not healthy. And what is it about not being healthy that you are actually okay with? So there are other, ways of looking at it, explore it. And as you were saying, Nomsa, to really got that sense of when you open up to letting go, there's like light can come in. Possibility opens up. There's a space to breathe, to relax, and to think, and then to be able to move forward. Whereas if you're holding on to it and you're not willing to even think about it, there's tension. Can you feel that? And so if there's tension in your body, this is where the ill health comes, because the natural flow of your body, of energy, the blood, your muscles, everything's tight. It's not healthy and creates illness after time. We might not notice it at the time, but over time, little illnesses start to creep in. And they've got labels, different labels, but actually they're just surface labels for something deeper. And if you started to look at, when did I decide not to forgive myself? How long have I been holding on to this for? Go back to that moment, that decision that you decided, I'm not going to forgive myself. I'm not worthy of it. I don't think it's worth it. It's not something I want to do. Or there's something going on deeper that was going, no, I'm getting some benefit from this. And then I feel like there's a drop of anointment to put in there. There's like a salve, an ointment of something to just put in that space. That you then in that moment, maybe there's a color that you like, that's a really healing color. Bring that color in to that space. Maybe there's a smell and a fragrance that you like. Bring that in to the space. Maybe there's a shape that you see it as that, oh, is there a shape that you like? Create that shape out of it. Play around with it. And bring self-forgiveness to that part, to that moment. And forgive yourself for not forgiving yourself. You can see how it's compounded. Because there could be a part of you that's not forgiving yourself because you didn't forgive yourself. And it just creates more and more. So go back. Forgive yourself for not forgiving yourself, and then forgive yourself. Create that beautiful space and breathe. And maybe there's some words in there. What are some loving words that you just love to hear someone say about you? What is it that really warms your heart? It makes you feel excited and alive that somebody says to you about you. Put that in that moment as well. Hear it. Put it in. And hear everything shift and change. Feel it shift and change. See it. Smell, taste, all of those senses. And then come back to the present moment. And notice what is here now about that situation. And can you feel your body? Can you now feel like you could move forward, step forward? Is there like something is leaving you? Breathe. Are you able to breathe a bit deeper? How's your mind? How's your thoughts? Are they a little bit more settled? Or maybe there's a different word that you'll use. But there's something that you can do. But it comes down to you deciding that enough is enough. And unless you decide, as you say, Mum says, no one else can do it for you. We can hold that space and see you in that space of having forgiven yourself. And that's the best thing that we can do. Or if you know of somebody who you know that they haven't forgiven themselves and they just won't listen to you, all you do is you just hold them in that space, in your mind's eye, and give them that space to open up and find themselves there someday. Because by you making them wrong and saying, no, you should be forgiving yourself. This is what you should be doing. You should be doing it. You should be doing it. And why aren't you? You're actually creating even more tension, and you're not allowing them to, because all you see them is in that space of not having forgiven themselves. So open up that space. See them as whole, healed, complete, full of self-forgiveness, and then allow them to take their journey in their own way, because we're all here on our own journey, and, you know, we all have our own way of going about it. So certainly, I love what you said about it can restore what is lost. It can't restore the time, but there's something else it can restore. What did you lose over that time of not forgiving yourself? Peace of mind, sense of calm, relationship with a loved one, relationship with a team that you're working with. What is it that got lost that can be restored? And I think that's a beautiful concept there, actually, Nomsa, because that's what relationships is about, isn't it? There's something lost in a relationship because you couldn't forgive yourself. So what can be restored? And that's quite heartwarming to know that that's possible. It's not completely lost in that respect. You know, anything is possible when you believe. So what else is there, Nomsa, do you think, around what forgiving yourself? You're muted again. Yeah. You're muted. Nomsa, you're muted.
Press the wrong button. I thought I've unmuted myself. Personally, for me, when it comes to a relationship, I think it is very, very important. Like you were saying, Carol Ann, that let's allow them people to go, to take their own journey. And we intend to hold people. And when we hold people, we don't understand that we are holding ourselves. So you have to know why, you have to know your purpose while you are here on earth. And you have to understand what does it mean to have problems. Problems will be presented to you, and those problems, you didn't ask them, you didn't order them, like take away, but they will be presented to you and you have to deal with them. Some people go through abuse in relationship. They don't ask for it. They don't ask to meet a partner that is somebody that they thought they were going to spend the rest of their lives with, and they end up abusing them sexually or emotionally or physically. Or some people, they in relationship with their parents, the parents, they put them up for adoption or they put them up to foster care. But for me, life, when you are being given a chance, when your parents put you in a foster care, they're giving you a chance. Mm-hmm. And if you have a chance to make it, to actually work hard for your life, because what intended to do is people end up blaming. Or if you get a chance to be adopted, just embrace it. Find out if you can actually, that person, to find out why they adopted you and get the answers that you want, if that's the answers that you want, but move on. If you are not dead, you're breathing, that means God has given you a chance to survive. If you have been abused or anything has been done in your life, or physically, mentally, God has given you a chance if you're still breathing. So for me, I would say the only way to survival is to find breakthrough, find healing, create a breakthrough framework. We did the breakthrough challenge before. You can go back to that video. It's a 10-hour video and it's all about healing. It's very, very important to understand the power of healing. The power of healing, it doesn't mean you're okay for what has been done to you. It means I am having courage to let it go. And I am having courage to understand. As a man, you have to understand your power, your responsibilities. What does a man's responsibility? Responsibility, it means as a man, you have to, you are an architect, whether it's a relationship or in this world. It means you bring ideas. Even when your life falls, you have to come up with the ideas of picking yourself up. A woman, she's a mentor. She's a very, very, very intelligent. Every woman out there, if they didn't know that they're intelligent, they have power. That's why God put Adam and Eve together. He knew what they were going to do. But in that moment, he said, Eve, you're going to have children and you're going to feel the pain. But having children, or getting pregnant for 9 months, giving birth to a living thing, and then as a woman, you think you're not worthy. So me, I don't understand. I get confused. I get confused with myself as well. Why did I think I wasn't worthy? Because I gave life to my 2 children. That means I'm worthy. That means I have power within me. But when you don't know that you have power within me, like what Carol Anna was saying, allow yourself to let that person go, work through the pain, and allow them, release them and let them go. is understanding that I'm reclaiming my power back that I have lost. I'm restoring the life that I have lost through this pain, through this man or through this woman that entered my life and took advantage of me. It means I'm forgiving and I am aware that I will not let anybody enter my life and take advantage of me. That does not mean we have to be weary about people. No, it only means that we have to, when somebody enters our lives, we have to assess them. We're not assessing anybody through judgmental. We have to look at ourselves. What do we want in life? Hang out with the right people. And those people are the people that are going to motivate us to get to where we need to be. We don't just hang around with anybody. It means when you let go of, when you forgive yourself, it means whoever entered your life, they have to be evaluated. Okay, you have to screen them. I'm a Christian myself. Is it okay? I want to have a life. I have a purpose while I'm on earth. But is it okay for me to hang out with people that are going to pull me down? If I'm saying I have a purpose, I have a path that I'm walking through, and that path is going to take me to where my destiny is, but then somebody pulls me down, it means I have to let some people go. That means I have to let some places go. That means I have to evaluate my life and see what serves me that moment, what doesn't serve me, and just move on with my life. Let it go. And also understanding your power as a man, your assignment on earth, and as a woman, your assignment on earth. Over to you, Carol Ann.
Yes, know your assignment on earth, your purpose.
Yeah.
And I think that's what helps hold you together, because what you were saying, know your purpose, know why you're here on earth. And you said something about problems. We didn't order them. We didn't ask for them. Well, from where I stand and the way I think we need to look at, well, what is it we've asked for? What prayer is it we put up for? What is it that we're wanting that we haven't yet got? And is it problems that we're given? Or is it a challenge that helps us to learn to get what it is that we're asking for? Sometimes, the answer doesn't always come in the form that we think it should. And so it's being open to whatever is happening in your life is something, possibly an answer to a prayer, an answer to what it is that your life's purpose is about. What is it you've come to learn while you're here on this planet? What is your soul's journey at the moment? And so by actually being able to move beyond where we're at, to be able to forgive ourselves so that we can move on, you do need to be able to understand, yes, what is our purpose here? Because that will give us some direction and opening up and thinking, okay, maybe on some level I've asked for this, or it's not that I asked for this, but I asked for something that has given me this. And so what's the learning here? My part in it, because, what have I done? So it's accepting the situation. It's accepting what's happened, what you've done, and then learn from it. Because when you learn from something, you can then move on. You can then make sure that you put steps in place that you don't do it again. And you just create a new way of being around it all. But the power is then in communicating. This is where relationships can then get strengthened, and resolutions can happen, and relationships that were maybe falling apart can actually come back together again. Is you actually then communicating what it is that you discovered. What did you have now accepted? What was your part in something? and the fact that you are willing to forgive yourself, what it is that you've learned, and what you're creating, how you're creating yourself in a new way, and what you're promising or committing to. And actually, by sharing that with the other person, it helps for them to understand where you were at, what's going on. But they can then feel that peace within you. They feel part of it. And maybe they can then forgive you as well. So forgiveness then becomes more than just you forgiving yourself. There's forgiveness within the relationship. The relationship can move on a different footing. Maybe there's a deeper trust, a deeper bond, but certainly a deeper understanding of each other. And so communication is key with this in terms of relationships, because this is what we're talking about. How can self-forgiveness help your relationship? So be willing to forgive yourself. And maybe that's the first step to improving your relationship with somebody, is actually owning up to, I wasn't willing to forgive myself. Because maybe there's something that they haven't been willing to forgive themselves for. Because it is about forgiving yourself first, and then forgiveness can come in in another way. So opening up, being honest, being accepting, and being in communication. But then it takes something to move forward beyond that, because it's not a case of, oh, okay, I forgive myself. That's not what it's about. It is about those steps that I've said, and actually actively creating a new way of being, actively, intentionally doing things differently, but making sure that you don't make those same mistakes again. And if you do, then it's again sitting down and going, well, what happened this time? You said you weren't going to, but you just done that. What happened? But not beating yourself up because you forgave yourself before. It's a way of finding a way of forgiving yourself this time. What happened? Look at it. Open up, accept. Okay, I did this. I completely forgot. I fell into an old way of being. I fell into an old pattern of behavior. Well, what caused it? Because there will be an element of cause in there. Was there something that triggered you? A trigger that you haven't realized was there. So again, it's recognizing the patterns, the triggers, doing some work around that. And if you can't do anything yourself about it, reach out, ask for support, reach out for one of us to support you so that that trigger can no longer be a trigger. So you can then move forward with that self-forgiveness in a way that does mean that you don't make those same mistakes again. Those triggers are not so strong, if they're at all. But you have to show that commitment. You have to keep working at it. It's not just a case of saying, okay, I forgive myself, and then wonder why things don't work out. There is more to it. And actually having gratitude for whatever has shown up, for the lesson that was there, for the person that you're with or the team that you're with, for being willing to be with you and be on this journey, and being willing to forgive whatever it was that took place. So bring some gratitude into it. Bring some joy, some fun, some laughter, because that is so healing. I know at the weekend, it's a long time since I've been with a group of people socializing, and just laughter. We laughed. We had these moments that we were playing this game, and it was like, oh my goodness, the laughter was just incredible. I'd forgotten what it was like to be in that social environment again. You know, I used to have lots of parties when I was being married before. We had friends around. We had, you know, we'd go around their place, and there's always laughter and play games. I haven't done that in years, and it's like, oh, it's a beautiful tonic. So can I forgive myself for allowing all these years to have gone by and sunk into that, not having that socialization? Yeah, it's just where I went. I've now been shown that it's possible. How can I move forward from that? Is actually, well, don't wait around for it just to happen. Don't wait around for somebody else to organize it for you. Do something about it. Organize something and make it happen. Be proactive in your life and be the cause of having things work out the way you want to, rather than feeling that you're a victim and it's not working. That's what you can do. So I think, you know, I'm going to start being a bit more proactive again, because it was always, you know, I was used to organize that when we were married. It's like always something going on. Why can it not be now? But it's going to be different. It has to be different, because I'm not in the same place. I'm not with the same people. I'm not living in the same environment. I've got different friends, different circle of people that are around me, friends, acquaintances, you know, relationships for different things, like business wise. Let's create something a bit more exciting, eh? And then that's what I can restore, because what's lost is that fun, that buzz and laughter. So what's missing in your life, in your relationships, that you could restore just by forgiving yourself for whatever needs to be forgiven? For me, it's forgiving myself to get into this point, to letting it be so long, and for letting myself sit and allow that inner child that's like, poor me, nobody wants to know me. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. And oh God, Lord, help me. And why have you done this to me? And it's not. It's letting go of all of that and realizing I'm so rich with the people that I know, the relationship I have. And so it's just bringing that to another level of life and laughter. So, okay, there's a whole new level I can go to, but it's about reinventing yourself. And I reinvent myself as somebody who forgives myself. Things happened. They happened. You do something, and there's always a consequence. And it's recognizing whatever the decision or the choice you made, and the action that you took has a consequence. It's not about going right or wrong. It's just action, consequence. What was it? And opening up into that. What do you think, Nomsa?
I love that, Carol Ann. I love what you said, accepting the situation and also do things differently. I think that is very, very important. I was listening to my pastor 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. He said exactly the same thing that you've just said. And he was like, if life is not working the way you want, instead of doing the same thing over and over, why don't you do things, change a little bit of, change it differently, change it, small things. Normally how you would do things, just change it. Small changes, you'd be amazed at how your life can change. And I think it's very, very important to actually understand that we are responsible for our lives. We are responsible for our destiny. We are responsible for our building our careers, finding our purpose. We are responsible of understanding who we are and our purpose while we are on earth. No matter what pain we go through, we still have to say those positivity, not to tear our lives down with our mouth. We are very, very good at tearing our lives down. And a woman's job, when a man and a woman, they get married, and a woman has to understand her role in that marriage. The man has to understand his role in that marriage. So if those roles, they become pain, that means that relationship, there is something wrong with the relationship. That's what I actually teach my clients, that a woman's job, you build your relationship with the hands. You take a pen, you write down your vision. And when you write down your vision, you use your mouth as well. You're building it with hands, and then you meet this guy as a woman, you meet this man, and he makes promises, this is who I'm going to be, and then you are like, wow, he has a vision. He knows where he wants to take me. So you say, yes, I want to know you. I want to get to know you a little bit. And that you get excited. You tell your friends, wow, this guy, he makes me feel so good about my life. And this guy goes and tells his friends, and you'll see, I met this girl. She makes me feel so good about my life. And then years goes by. That man that made you feel so good, he turns out to be an abusive guy, or the woman that you thought she was so good, she ends up tearing you down with her mouth. By the way, I don't know, men, you have to listen. If you want to understand a woman, you have to listen to Dr. Monroe's thing about marriage. He is so good. He says, never ever make promises to a woman and you cannot keep those promises, because a woman will tell you when things don't go right. He will tell you the date. She will tell you the date and the time when you made promises and what you said. Women, we are creative. We're very, very clever, but we can tear down our lives. So he like, men, don't make promises to a woman, because a woman will remember every word. And it doesn't mean she's wrong when she's reminding you what you promised her, and when you become to be something else. If you say to a woman, I'm going to love you and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this, and you end up abusing her, she will remind you and say, you said from the beginning, this is what you're going to do. You're going to love me. You're going to protect me. You're going to provide for me. But now you're tearing me down? Hell no. So you got to listen, men. If you're watching, you got to go and listen. That thing is so good. It's so good. And when that happened, when relationship goes wrong, that's when somebody has to forgive somebody. Even when family relationship, business, or maybe you start a business, things go wrong. You can't dwell on the past. You have to do things differently. I listened to my past. I was doing things differently. I was doing things and some things were not working. So I was like, okay, so that means I need to make some changes. So I decided to make some changes with my life. And I was like, okay, I decided to make some changes. I listened to his instructions and I wrote them down, and I went and found the prayer that it says exactly on YouTube, his prayer. And then I've used that prayer, and I just pray and I just pray, and I could see my life changes. There are some problems that have been programmed to appear in the future in my life. So I see those problems are appearing now because I'm looking for them and I want to get rid of them. I'm uprooting them in my roots, my foundation. So I can see that, oh, this is the problem that was meant to attack me in the future. This is the problem. Oh, this is why my life is not working. Oh, I've made a mistake in that part, but I'm not blaming myself. I'm acknowledging what I've done wrong, and I'm actually restoring my life. So it's very, very important not to blame yourself. Accept the situation, and like Carol Ann said, and if it's a woman that has wronged you, or if it's a man that has wronged you, or if at work things are not been going well, somebody has wronged you, just do things differently. Maybe leave the job and find another job. There's plenty of jobs there. I went on the website yesterday. I found this app online, and this app built my website within 30 seconds. I was counting and I was like, 30 seconds. I just put a description. I just wanted to test it. I just put it there, and a description about my business. And then the next thing, I have a website, and I was like, this is amazing. The world is changing. So I want to change with the world. I don't want to get angry with the artificial intelligence. I want to take advantage of it. I just want to use it for my business. Honestly, I counted the time and I was like, 30 seconds. And this thing has built a business. It is putting all the pictures, the layout. Now you have to go and customize your website. You have to go and register. You got to make it official. And I was like, this is amazing. Can you imagine you're holding your life? Because God, he works he's a very, very intelligent man. Holding your life while the intelligent man has an angel standing next to you wanting to bless you, and then he can't. The angel cannot change you because you decide to hold on to the pain. So just I put my hands up and I say, God, I have wronged you and I've wronged myself, and forgive me. And you'll see the freedom. I've been praying for the past 2 weeks. I've been praying the raw power of God to fall upon me. And then on last Friday, we had a overnight prayer. My pastor walks in on Sunday. I went to church. He goes, what's going on with you? I was like, he's just like, you have some energy. I honestly, I don't know where you're getting this energy. I don't know where my mind, whatever is going on with God, but it's real. Honestly, my attitude has changed. And the way I feel, if I'm doing something, if I'm struggling with it, or if I can't fix it, I just step back and just take a breath and just pray, and everything will just something will come, the solution will come, or somebody will show up in my life. And it doesn't mean that my life is perfect. Problems will still enter, but it means I know where I'm going, and I'm willing to let people go. I'm not willing to hold nobody. And I'm not willing. My daughter, she's been playing up for the past few mornings. I just look at her, I'm like, this one, she's testing me. I ain't fighting back. I'm like, God, I'm not fighting back. And she's like, I just ignore her. And we just like, we got to go, baby girl. Whatever you say, whatever you fight, we've got to go to school. So she will say something and testing me. I just have to forgive myself, and I just have to keep my cool, and I just have to go. And it doesn't mean when you forgive yourself, it doesn't mean life is going to, remember, problems are there. So when you sort out the other problems, the other one will enter. So that's what life is about. We just have to allow ourselves to be person that we are meant to be. And Carol Ann, as well, you mentioned that forgiveness and gratitude goes together. It's very, very important to have gratitude with people, towards people, and towards God. Me, I have gratitude when my life is not working. I still pray, I will still praise him for what he did for me last year, or the day I was born, or the day my mom and dad met. But before, I will be under the pillow, trying to build a life that in my head, trying to find mistakes. But now I don't give a meaning to the problems anymore. Over to you, Carol. And I think that's what I leave the audience with. I don't leave weight. I don't give problems weight or meaning anymore.
Yeah. That's the key, isn't
Yeah.
it? You don't give it meaning. I like what you just said then, yeah. So certainly a great thing to leave them with, because where are they adding meaning in? So when you start giving it meaning, it's where the emotion comes in and the negativity and just what happened. That's it. And move forward. But also bringing in that gratitude. Okay, this happened. What can I learn from it? Be grateful for that lesson that's presented itself in whatever form that it came and whatever part you played in it, and allow yourself to be forgiven, or to be forgiven, but also to forgive yourself. And if you struggle with self-forgiveness, as I said, there's a, reach out to us, but also just put up a prayer for whatever, you believe in, whether it's God or the universe or some other form, and just ask, how can I forgive myself? Allow myself to be forgiven. As long as you are willing and want to, something will open up. So it's just, in the first instance, being willing to forgive yourself. That's the step. And I love what Doreen Virtue says. Forgive yourself for what you think you've done or not done. At every moment, you had your reasons for all your actions and decisions. You've always done the best that you could do. Forgive yourself. Very simple. And then the other one by Leon Brown. You cannot travel back in time to fix your mistakes, but you can learn from them and forgive yourself for not knowing better. So again, it's that acceptance that comes in. It's that awareness, acceptance, allow yourself to move forward, forgive yourself, and then create that new future for yourself. So create that dream. What is it that you really want to do? And go for it, because it is possible. What you were saying, Nomsa, about artificial intelligence that could create something in seconds. Well, there's an intelligence out there that creates things just like that. And I think that's what that artificial intelligence is showing us, how things are now speeding up. What is possible and what we're capable of doing ourselves is way more than we've ever experienced or known before. It's just opening up to that. So our workshop is this Saturday. There'll be a link in the comments. Yes, Nomsa, you'll pop that link in. So people, if you're interested, coming this Saturday, we will be hopefully doing it again. But this Saturday, it's no cost to you. Just we're requesting an exchange of feedback so that we can see what you think about the workshop, so that we can then provide something that is beneficial, that will help you with self-forgiveness. And then we can move forward with that. So we'd really love to have you there and to have your feedback and input on this. And for you to be able to shift something in your life in forgiving yourself. So thank you.
Do you want to tell the audience who you are, Carol Ann, before we leave?
Yeah, I'm Carol Ann. I'm actually the writing facilitator. And through writing, you can find self-forgiveness. You can heal your life. And it is about writing out. And what I work with is helping people to write, connect with that deeper innate ability to write, but write their story. And in writing your story, it helps you to heal because it brings it out. You can face it and give it words, give it a life in a sense of, and then be able to forgive things that have happened. So forgiveness comes into that, but it is about helping you to write your story, get it out there so it can be published, and it can then support other people in their journey as well. So you can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, and I also have a Facebook group called Get Your Book Written. Oh, thanks, Namsa. Are you still there, Namsa? You seem to have frozen. You're also muted.
Pardon?
I said you're muted and you were frozen. I'm going, are you still there, Namsa? You're muted.
Am I still here?
You're still here.
Okay, I thought I've been kicked out.
I think it's actually come back and said you're the host now. So I think you had got kicked out and you're back again.
Okay, so, I got kicked out and then I was like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah, it happens.
Okay. So if you're watching us on Facebook, please join our groups. We have Unique Billionaire Mindset Group. If you have a business, you can join the group and showcase your business using psychology. You're not going to advertise direct, but you know what I mean. So use psychology to get your name out there by posting and introducing yourself, telling our audience who you are and stuff. And Ngozi Talk Shows, we have a specific group for Ngozi Talk Shows as well. So you can join the group and like our page, and on YouTube as well. We have a membership. You can join a membership and have an intimacy with our coaches, not that intimacy, but the intimacy of connecting properly and getting to know our coaches properly, how they became who they are today, the journey they had to go through. So maybe you want to be a coach one day, who knows? So you get to talk to, or you get to have a personal chat with our coaches. And live with grace, everyone. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. UK time.